There it is. Let's see what happens with the folks coming in. Image. I need that image. Oh, here we go. I have it right here.
Okay, I'm waiting
I
for it
need
to
the
pop in.
comments right there. I'm gonna have to pull this image up. I could probably put it up on here. Make this smaller. No cap, James Williams. Appreciate y'all being here. Let me. Ooh. Hey, thanks for sending that out. I think I heard it come in. Refresh this. Hey, what up, TYB Terrell? True born in the building. We in the building. We in the building. Brutal Sim on the scene. Wicked and mean. That's my guy, Brute. Snatch Block. What up, man? Underrated reply guy. What's good, man? Oscar, what up? What up? Hey, Marcus, what's going on? It's 2K24 gonna be seasons. There is gonna be seasons, almost certain. Have they made an official announcement about seasons? Does anybody know?
I don't think so.
Okay, I'm almost certain there's gonna be seasons though. Yeah. What up, Astro? Ozzy, what's good? Ozzy, hope you good. Poorly righteous. What up? No cap in the building. What up, Grayson? Manny, what's going on? Can't wait to play you on Crossplay. I can't wait to play you either. We finna drop some Xbox players off. It's gonna be fun, man. Who's hiding? A lot of folks be ducking. And it's not gonna be going down in 2K24. Do you think old gen gonna be dead? What do y'all think about that?
I think most people are gonna move over from old gen to next gen. That's what I think is gonna happen.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people are looking forward to play with their friends and stuff that are on different consoles, and they're stuck on PS4, Xbox One, and they're like, "Damn, I gotta move."
Oh, that's right. Yeah. The crossplay is only for next gen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Wow. What up, Black Ice? Xbox is super toxic. This should be interesting. Well, we know how to humble that toxicity. We can humble that joint.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of that. Mm-hmm. I've seen a lot of that back and forth because 2K is actually promoting it like that. Like they have Shaq texting NBA players. We've seen the new commercials. And so I see a lot of talk about, this console is better, that console. And my whole thought is like, the console don't make you better. Like,
hell no, right? How? That's what I never understood.
Like, is that going to give you skill?
Yeah, I never understood that. It's like, how is the console, like, how do we determine who's a better player on 2K by the console they play on?
Yeah, it don't make sense to me, but I mean, whatever helps people have fun.
Yeah, facts, man. 2K knew how to capitalize on that. The first, when we were talking initially, when we saw that ESPN had announced crossplay, it was like, hold on a second. We know it's ESPN, so it's going to be absolutely official that there's going to be crossplay. But there was something in it, like it was like an asterisk, crossplay with an asterisk. Maybe it was going to be, there was some folks thinking that it was only going to be for theater and all. So because 2K hadn't announced it, and we know 2K's marketing strategies are way too advanced not to take advantage of what crossplay means for 2K. So the very next day, they came out with that commercial, and it was like, there we go. We knew 2K had that already set up. I guess it wasn't their intention for people to find out ESPN had it out. Or maybe it was. They're smart. They're just too smart when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah, I'm curious about what happened there.
I thought 2K would have been the first to announce it, the way the community found out. The only other reason I would think otherwise is if they had like is League Pass like a own thing. Like I never did the League Pass thing. Is that like off ESPN, or is there something connected with ESPN?
I'm not honestly
right?
No, it's just the NBA. I mean, they're pretty tied in with the NBA right now. Like the Summer League is named after 2K, so like they're basically they're basically in business with the NBA, which brings a lot of questions about this monopoly type thing that they have going on. It's like, all right, it's a little too close. You know what I mean? Like, is the NBA holding back other, competitors because they have that partnership? It's an interesting concept.
Definitely interesting. So they announced VC costs remain the same as 23, and this is news. I don't know what that means. Certified goals. My brother plays Xbox. I can't wait to make him close the app.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
You already gonna start a family rivalry.
Food for thought as well.
It's a family rivalry.
Food for
I
thought.
think I know what you mean.
2K,
Because
if you think about
people are
it,
sharing the VC prices, but it is news. We want to maybe people think that the prices will change or increase. Now we know it's the same. That's why people are sharing it. It's news, even though it's.
Oh, okay. That's what he was referencing. Oh,
Yeah,
I got you. I got you.
Joint's
Yeah.
about to cost you $300 if you get the 150 package and the
VC
gonna cost to build your dude the VC. Man, you looking about $300 to drop on this game.
That's facts. That's facts, man.
Here's a thought as well. Also, 2K somewhat did it smart because they let everybody else do the crossplay, get all the bugs out, and then came in and was like, all right, we already know what you guys did wrong. Here we go now with our platform. When that they did it with their other 2Ks, they seen what was wrong with it, and their most popular game, which I got you. 2K, brought it out.
Yeah,
they're still gonna find a way to mess it up.
I think it's the same thing, Cheat.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Yeah, because I'm shaking my head like, nah, don't get finessed. Don't get. Yeah.
2 weeks later, after that first patch, man.
Yeah. Salute to you too, Roy. Appreciate you. Martin was good. Other dude, Thomas Dunn in the building. Sorry if I missed anybody's comments. We will be getting to the comments. Sergeant Thomas, man. All right, so we helped Sergeant Thomas. Now I haven't read the comment yet, but I'll read it in just a second. We helped Sergeant Thomas make a build. I'm about to read his comment. We helped him, I think, the day before yesterday. Fam, this is Sergeant Thomas. That build you and the crew helped me with the other night, man, I might be ready to try out for the All City.
Nice.
Yeah, man, that's what it's about.
That's great.
Yeah.
We love to hear people having a good time and having fun.
Big facts, man. You know, just to give you guys that are watching some clarity, in our Discord community, we really try to stay connected to the members. We have we're well over 25,000 strong in Discord. And, Sergeant Thomas hit us up saying that he needed help with a build. So after a couple days, we were able to get it together. And we met him in a room in a party chat within our Discord community. And we must have spent maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours just, helping him make a really good build. So if you guys are interested in something like that, man, join our Discord. Type !Discord in the chat. If you guys are looking for players to run with for 2K23 in preparation for 2K24, type !Discord in the chat. Also, if you guys would like to become a member here and get a badge by your name, as you're typing, you'll see a badge by your name. Type !join or !member. The link will come up. You could become a member today. Joining Discord is absolutely free. There is a subscription service within Discord, but joining and getting access to our entire community is absolutely free. Not only that, if you need help with bills, badges, and stuff like that, you get one-on-one subscription-based services, or you can go into the rooms that we have set up within the Discord and get help from the entire community. You guys are welcome to do that, and I welcome you into our Discord. Safe, non-toxic gaming environment for players from all walks of life. Come on out, join today. What's good, Mark G? That's good to hear, Kendrick Thomas. What up, love? What's good, man? I'm happy that the bill worked out for you, man. Let's get into it, man. So we're talking about the new player builder. Let me see what we got in here.
Yeah, just FYI, if you guys want to tune in, we'll be helping another member with his build tonight as well. So if you guys are interested to see the process of us helping out the builders or the people that need help with their builds, just tune in tonight as well. We'll be doing the same thing.
Yeah. So that means that you just come into Discord. You'll come in. You see those names on the right side of the screen right here? This is what you'll see when you come into our Discord. We'll be in a room just like this, and you'll see all the names, and all you got to do is click the room and you're in. please don't try no funny stuff because you'll just get yourself banned ASAP. But if you come in and you chill and you cool, you could connect, you want to share some dialogue or help with creating the build or just listen to learn some things on how to make a build good, you're welcome to do that. That's all in our Discord and it's happening tonight as well. We're talking about the new player builder information, and we're speculating, we're stretching things thin because we don't have much information to go on, but I will share the information that we actually have, and that's what we're gonna do now. I'm gonna pull it up on screen, and I'm just gonna read this off, and you guys tell me. I want to kind of break this down, and you guys tell me if this is a finesse from 2K. Is this something that 2K is doing just to sell us the game? Or is this something that we could be excited about, that is going to be a solid improvement to player builders and help provide some gameplay balance? I'm going to read this off. Make your mark on a scenic coastal neighborhood. And that lends to the idea that initially this is talking about current gen or old gen version of 2K24. But the reason why I made a video about this and referenced the idea that is because we know we're going to get something different on 2K24, even for next gen. So the reason why I made a video about this is because I got this off of Steam and it has a bunch of information on Steam and it doesn't reference for either one of these key points, whether it's current gen or next gen. It was very broad and vague. So that's what we're operating and that's what we're reading off, and then we're operating, trying to create dialogue within that space. So hopefully you guys get that. Make your mark on a scenic coastal neighborhood rich with postcard-esque views. That's nonsense. Save the nonsense, 2K. We don't need no extra additional words. You should be actually putting those extra additional words, the effort that you put into this, that should go into patch notes. But I find that ironic. It says use the revamped player builder to create a my player that suits your skill set. That alone has caused a tremendous amount of controversy within the community, because that lends to the idea that 2K is going to put restrictions on builds, especially with this follow-up statement saying, so you can play to your strengths and get the most out of the updated badge system. So a lot of information just in that, one sentence. What do we think about that?
Well, I just hope that they keep defense the way they need to. If it's a revamp builder and you play to your strengths, so if I want to make a lock and I have 99 steel with, let's just say a 90 prim, and then they ought to play to that skill strength, and I should be able to, I feel like I should be able to steal the ball easier than someone that comes in with a 45.
There you go.
Steal,
Facts.
Yeah,
but what does it mean for the build? So like the homie said, Jay said, sounds like double archetype to me. And I kind of lean towards the same way. It sounds like double archetype, one or two strengths, whether those strengths are going to be legitimate for the build, like legitimate to make that build. Is the lock, or will they nerf steals? Will they make steals worth it if you increase that steal? That's to be determined. But just bringing it back a notch and trying to figure out what does this actually mean for creating the build, not how it plays when it's on the court, but what does it mean for creating the build? Am I going to be limited in other areas? And is that limitation going to be noticeable? If I want a 99 steal, I can't get contact dunks. If I want a 99 steal, I can't shoot from limitless range. Those type of things. What do you think?
They're gonna what's gonna happen, just like what they with 2K Labs did. The balance points on that is gonna change drastically.
You're gonna have to come up to the mic, Toonie. Sound far.
What I think is gonna happen is that just like what 2K Labs did with the point value on what each level entice and how much is value to get to 99, I think that's gonna change drastically.
Kind of how it was when the pie chart system. I could see that too. Yeah, even more so than that, this changes everything. If it is gonna be more restrictions, If it is, because I'll throw this out there for y'all. I'll throw this out there. There's rumors going around that 2K is going to go, 2K24 is going to lean more towards sim, where a lot of people feel like that's what 2K23 did. It leaned more towards sim. Well, from what 2K is saying here, it seems like they're going to lean even further towards sim and go the route of NBA 2K League type of gameplay. Where are we at with that?
Mm-hmm. I like the aspect of the simulation compared to the arcade. I mean, I like the arcade aspect of it. I mean, that's what we grew up on, you know, getting them contact dunks and all that. But when they put more of the arcade into me, for me, it takes away more of the realistic game set of basketball. And then we all end up with, man, that should have been a steal. Oh, in IRL, that would have been a steal, you know. And so I like the aspect of the more simulation of the game.
I would I like both being combined, but I would like more likely be more happy if they went with like more simulation than arcade, because some things just don't make sense. Things that happen right now in 2K especially, just, you don't see it. Like when it comes to like watching actual basketball, some things you see in the game will never ever happen in an actual game of basketball.
And that's big facts. And I agree with you, Wheezy. I feel like I would like a mix, because when I think back on the times that I've had the most fun on 2K, on the years of 2K that I spent the most amount of time grinding to legend multiple times over, you know, you had the most fun where you get on the game and 8 hours passes like if it was only 30 minutes and you don't even realize that many hours passed. It had a good balance. It had, and it wasn't necessarily sim, probably even the furthest thing from sim when you compare it to 2K23. But man, the fun factor was there. The responsiveness, the control of your player was there. Where in 2K23, I feel like it's a bit like clunky, man. There's something, the fluidity is lacking. I don't know how y'all feel about that, but that's what I see.
Yeah.
Where it wasn't there before. The joint was never in the game before. So
I like the balance of 2K20.
Yeah, 2K. My I feel the same way. 2K. When we look back at what 2K has become since 2K20, because at the end of 2K20, I was ready to get off 2K20, and that was a legend run. So, and I was still ready to get off, but that was with the impression that 2K was going to get better based off of 2K20, that they weren't going to make a drastic change and present to us what they did with the trash 2K21. In my opinion, 2K21 was right there. I mean, some folks may say it's 2K18, but for me, and the frustration and the silliness, and I call maybe 1,000 bodies on 2K21 because it was so easy to catch contact dunks. It just seemed dumbed down and watered down, and it wasn't based off skill, which we had in 2K20. You had to have skill on 2K20.
It's definitely a tough balance to strike, right? Because you want it to be basketball, right? Because it's a basketball game, but at the same time, it's also a video game. So you need that balance, the counter and the the offense and the counter, right? Like it's not fun if you don't have both. You don't have.
Thank you, man.
So
thank you.
So, like, I think when they're trying to force certain sim things into the game, that's probably what leads to this weird clunkiness that we're talking about. And it's taking your animation and making it something else, and just to add realism, and maybe sometimes that might be detrimental to our experience. Like just like if you force this certain things into the game, it feels less control.
Well, that's a perfect example, Heck. Yeah, that's a perfect example, because if that's exactly what I get, exactly what you're saying is exactly what I get from my experience. And it was so confusing to me, because you guys are here on a live stream with someone who's played 2K every single year since the very first 2K ever released on Dreamcast. And I'm only 15. So you guys could imagine how that plays out. So I got a mustache, but I grew this goatee since I was 2. I've been working on it since I was 2. But yeah, it's like you want to have the best of both worlds, and it's confusing to me when we were so close to having perfection, and then you stray away from it. And it looks like they took the same coding from what was amazing. And like you said, Heck, they attempted to force simulation within that coding. And I think if they really want to go, in my opinion, if they really want to go the simulation route, they can't force simulation onto the coding that they have right now. That's my humble opinion. I don't think they could force it on there. It'd have to be built from the ground up, because there's so many arcadey aspects in the game. This is why 1 second you're jumping through the roof for a contest or a rebound, and the next second you can't even get 2 inches off the ground. What up, Whack? What's good, man?
I just think they have to change a whole lot of things, like you're saying. Like they gotta because like coding is a very complicated thing to do by itself. Then for people who do it for a living,
Let's go.
you're gonna have a full code built, but to try to add and fix little parts of it that one big working code is challenging.
Yeah. One thing I didn't like saying with you, Weezy, I have no idea about coding, know nothing about it, but from hearing the developer talk about coding, his description, the way he described it as a game developer, and there's a 2K dev, yeah. He said the way the coding works is you have your left hand and your right hand. You got to make a choice on which one you want, because when it comes to coding, you can't have both. And I found that suspect, because I could understand him saying that trying to make adjustments within the coding you'll have to make a choice between your left hand and your right hand. But I can't understand if it was being built from the ground up that you would have to make a choice between your left hand and right hand. So it seems to me that there's some cutting of the corners to try and give us what we want, knowing that it's inevitable that the game is gonna have to like the whole coding is gonna have to be rebuilt in order for them to deliver what they're trying to make happen. It seems to me it's almost like trying to wing it. What do y'all think?
Yeah. I remember Zara talking about how certain concepts take 3 years to develop, and like they'll put in something small that nobody would know about, and then build on it, and then flesh out the feature. So I'm hoping that this new technology that they have will lead to them being able to manipulate the player movement so that it doesn't have to be forced. Like it's more about control, but the movement mirrors that of the NBA or actual player, and that way it's more sim, but you have control. And I think that's what we all want is being
control.
It's control, So I'm hopeful, but I mean it's hard to be optimistic given.
It sure is difficult.
They use a certain language on the promotional tools, but then like you said in your video earlier, the delivery is different, and at the end, and then they're quiet at the end. It's just like the same bag of goods. Like they're telling us all this great stuff, but then it ends up being a letdown.
Yeah, that stuff is to be determined. We just don't know. We can't deny that 2K23 was an amazing release. Dragonian, I appreciate your 199 super chat. Salute to you, Dragonian. Hopefully I pronounced that right. That where Pro Play tech comes in. Oh, that's what he just basically said exactly what you said. He said that's where Pro Play comes in, the technology behind Pro Play. He said it will fix that. So he basically said exactly what you said. Appreciate your comment, Dragonian.
Well, I'm hopeful that it was, but like I said, they say talk about this concept, and I know that we're probably going to get some gameplay news soon, because
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
usually what they drop first in terms of like just giving us an idea of how this pro play fits into their vision. But as we said before, like if we go back to all these preseason dev logs and then see how they delivered, I mean, you could sometimes you do see the effort, but the execution isn't always the best. So
Let me keep it a buck. Today, yeah, facts. Today I went in and I went to all the hey Dano, what's good? What's good? Slits, what's good, man? Appreciate y'all being here. Dos pelotas.
Hey, City.
What's good? Yeah.
Devilish Frost put that the Discord link's not working.
No, it should be working.
Someone said just join because I put it in there and someone.
Yeah, it's working. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't see that. I just read that. So.
Yeah, you just if you the Discord is just type ! Discord to join the Discord. Is there? The links are there. The links are in the live stream. You guys are all welcome. We're gonna be helping somebody make a build today. So especially if you guys are interested in a particular build, come on out, join our Discord. We're gonna be doing that tonight within our Discord community. Big Heck just posted it in the chat. There was a point that I wanted to touch base on, and I can't recall where I was at. I think I lost my train of thought. I'm going to build a mini sub to go looking for a goat bowl. Yeah, how do you guys feel about losing the goat bowl? You guys are losing the goat. I'm curious of what old Gen thinks. You guys put it in the comment section because I don't want to cover that too much unless you guys leave an interesting comment. And I will be getting to the comments. We will read them off and we'll try and answer all the comments for everything that we know so far. Right now, 2K is answering questions. So we're going to be getting information. Y'all be sure to keep it locked here because any information that we get, I'm talking about the most minor thing. Anything we get, we're going to deliver. And this is how it's going to be. It's going to be something like a content overload. It's going to happen here on this channel. And there's not, I have a goal, y'all. I have a goal. I appreciate y'all being here and I appreciate everything y'all do for this platform, but there is a goal for us to hit 100K. We've been doing this for a long time. We deserve it. We put in a lot of effort toward making this happen. You guys can help us hit that 100K by subscribing today. Get those subs up. Let me see those notifications. I will give a shout out to every single sub that I see pop up on that screen. Help us get to 100K. I appreciate y'all. Cedric TV, let's think all competitive games. Devs control what can get what. That way, when patches come, they got to do it fair around the board. That will fix 2K. Well, the problem is, there's the problem. This is why we were referencing ground up. This is why we even thought ground up. Is because the devs understand that they can't make one adjustment without affecting something else over here. So this is why when they touch steals, your shooting is off for 3 weeks. That happened to me this year. Your shooting is off. My shooting was off for dead 3 weeks and couldn't figure it out. It was the same exact jump shot. And I had to spend, thank you so much for the sub, Abando, appreciate you. But yeah, it's traumatic to spend so much, and you guys let me know in the chat if you've experienced this, but it's traumatic when you spend time in the lab and you lock in a jump shot so much so that you feel comfortable just logging in and going out to the rec center. Your shot is going to knock down if you're open and you have a good shot selection. So this year, for months, I'm shooting, as you guys see in the background. These are later in the seasons after I got my jump shot back. But you're going to see as this transitions, because it's in chronological order from how the seasons were released. You guys are going to see that I was shooting good from the beginning with the older jerseys. And then, it just messed up on me that I couldn't hit a shot at all due to a patch. And it's so frustrating that coding could really make me rethink what I just invested my $100 in this build because of a patch in the coding. So, I hope we could kind of get to a point where a patch is not going to directly affect how a build plays on the court. It's going to only affect what they're targeting. So if they want to minimize steals, then, the slider should go down just slightly. because folks invested so much money in their build to create a 99 steal. Zidane, hopefully I'm not just talking your ears off. Share your thoughts in the comments and I'll read off the comments. Yeah, what do we think about that? Yeah, you got anything else you would like to add to that stuff?
I just want the game to go back to being fun again, man.
Facts.
That's me.
Facts.
Like it used to be. You know, I remember when I, playing 2K being younger. I took a long year gap in 2K, and then I got right back into it serious in 2K17. And I remember getting on there just in my career and just enjoying it enough that, I want to stay on there and play it, see what's next and all that. And this year you get on there and within 15 minutes, you're so frustrated. All you can do is just start laughing at things because you start realizing, man, it's a video game and you're grown. And here you are getting aggravated at it, That's all I want is a fun factor back. I mean, if it takes, and the consistency, that's about it.
Yeah, same here. That's something else that we need to talk about too. Also, let me read this comment from, maybe we could share. Let me read the first comment from Manny. A lot of people want the game to be like 17 or 16. They need to let that go. And then that's including myself. I kind of feel the same way. I need to let that, although my heart of hearts, I would love to go back to those memories. I know that I wouldn't be necessarily happy if it was just 2K16 that they released. I know that much because we done experienced so much more. Martin23, appreciate you becoming a member. Salute to you. If you guys would like to join as a member, just type !join in the chat. A link will pop up. You could join it as a member and you'll get a badge by your name when you're typing in the live stream. He goes on to say, every year the advancements are getting better. I don't know why the community complains so much. Well, a big reason as to why the community complains so much is either there's a lack of exposure or there's too much exposure. And what I mean that we've been exposed to 2K16 and 17 and the fun that we used to have and the fluidity and the movement, the responsiveness. It just was so much fun. So when we get something that looks amazing, this is the big part of the complaint. When we get 2K23 and upon release, we anticipate, and I'm talking about it's already released, we got to play it the first day, and we experience that nostalgic fun factor is back and everybody's hyped. So now the next day, everybody's making sure their build's up to par, their animation's up to par. They go to the lab to lock stuff. This is the process of a 2K player. You go through the lab, you try to lock some stuff in so you can get out on the court and have some more fun. And then the company that you bought this product from changes the game completely from what we saw the first days of release. And that's where a lot of frustration comes in because we know the potential. We know where 2K could be. Why are we here? I think is where the roots are in this complaint. What do y'all think about that?
I think there was such a dramatic change in 2K from the release to now. Then it would be just like Call of Duty advertising a bunch of guns, skins. You go in and buy the gun skins, and then toward the end of the game, you're shooting with sticks.
You're shooting pellets. Yeah, you're shooting a BB gun.
It's like,
yeah. That's a perfect analogy, bro.
That's how it feels.
Yeah, I feel the same. I feel similar. I could agree with that. Do y'all agree with that in the chat? Let me know. I could agree with that, yeah.
I can agree with that too.
Why is this season 1 and first week 2K is great and then it just changes? I don't think it's absolutely intentional that 2K intends to change the game. I don't think it's their absolute intention. I think there may be some stuff that we may not like that they're doing in finesse to get us to commit to microtransactions. I don't want to get into that because that's really negative. To even think that it's not going to give us a good experience while we're playing the game, especially if you intend to get it regardless. So I don't want to dive too deep in it. But the fact is that the game does change. And I can recall when we got the first patch ever. I just remember the moment. I can't recall the exact year. But it went from like one patch for that whole entire annual cycle to the next year getting 3 patches for the entire annual cycle to now we're well in double digits every single year with patches. Unacceptable. unacceptable. This means that you're not developing the game. You're releasing an unfinished, unpolished product. And I know we're in a different stage in gaming. I know that. I get we're in a different stage in gaming where patches should be made to address community concerns, and in hopes that they could please the masses. But unfortunately, the patches that they drop seem to affect way more aspects of the game than what they're targeting, and change the perspective from the player that's playing the game because of the experience. That's what I've experienced. You guys sound off.
Yeah, I think that's part of the point that Czar made about changing one thing leading to another thing and having to choose an arm. And I think that a point that people make that I think is important that we all consider is a lot of times people start making feedback, like giving feedback, like right away, and like don't take the time to like grind their player to the fullest, you know, let the meta settle in. They just start complaining right away, and then 2K takes all that information and feedback and starts making analysis and maybe making a change that, even though you wanted, you asked for it, is probably not the best change for the game. And so we really got to consider that, like instead of dropping that feedback and making our, you know, getting those impressions, you know, make sure you let the game settle, you know, full, you know, people have all their badges, you know, let the game, let our knowledge of the game match where, you know, where we know what the problems actually are before we start making those assessments.
And it's not our duty as a player, as a, you know, I want to touch base on that real quick, because if I paid my $100 already, so if I want to have an opinion of the game and share my opinion, I should be able to do so freely. Now hear me out. It's 2K's duty to have confidence in their product, to know that their comments are short-sighted. So a person that said, you know, they bought the game, they paid the $100, and then within 2 days, they're complaining about shooting. Short-sighted. 2K21 is a perfect example. We're talking about 2K21 current gen, where not one person was hitting shots when they've tried to bring that build right out without badges. I don't know if you guys remember that, but 2K21 current gen, when 21 released, it released first on current gen, and then a couple months or something like that later is when it released on next gen. And nobody could hit their shots until they got their badges. But if somebody was complaining, which they did, if somebody was complaining in the beginning, those first, before getting their badges, that shooting is too difficult, then we watched it happen. We see our players, our friends get the badges, and now they're knocking down shots. So it was only like a selective few people in the first week that was able to really knock down shots. The person that was complaining was prematurely complaining because he didn't know, hey, you get those badges, you'll start shooting how you want to shoot. And then 2K makes the adjustment, or for those people that are complaining, even though they know it's short-sighted, and the way they set up the game was for the long-term effect and not the short-sighted folks. So, you know, it's a tough pill to swallow that 2K can't use their discretion properly before making changes that affect the masses. That's how I feel about it.
Oh, facts. And to piggyback off that, City, again, and we've seen it in this one in 2K21. You said they made the adjustment for shooting. I did notice that too. And then, you know, 22, they kind of revamped the shooting a little bit. And then 23, they told us ahead of time, hey, there's going to be a skill gap in shooting. But what people don't take in effect is your attributes mean something. So I feel as a player, if I put a 99 steal on my build, again, I should be able to get more steals than a guy with a 45. And what happens is you get these point guards in there that's used to doing that, you know, dribble left, dribble right, and then shoot right to the paint. And now they got the adrenaline bar. They can't do it because now you got a true lock on you, what we seen at the beginning of the year. And then they complain. And what happens? Sliders get adjusted. Now you have a 99 steal that is no better than an 85 steal.
You ain't lying. You ain't lying.
We've seen it.
Or City Lucky says, that's why pure basketball needs to be emphasized. people making new builds to make up for the fact that their player lacks in a certain area. That's how it should be. You got to work as a team to win. And I think that's where we're headed for 2K24. I think that was their initial intention for 2K23. They ended up finding out very quickly. They thought they was going to make adjustments that would appease the masses or accommodate the masses. But they ended up finding out that the adjustment that they made turned the masses against the game. And I'm not saying that the game is dead, because there was even rumors that the game was dead. 2K broke sales records this year due to microtransactions. So you guys just really bought the CEO a brand new mansion on a brand new island that you never heard before. So you guys got to be cautious with your microtransactions, but it's facts. I think we're headed down that road where 2K is trying to create a more balanced system, and they are isolating their player base. I think they're coming to realize that they could have done this a long time ago in isolating those folks who really just want to cheese or exploit. I appreciate that, King of New York. Salute to you. I think your channel is top tier, bro. I don't think there's any content creators doing live chats with a whole Discord squad. It's incredible, brother. I appreciate that. That's truly humbling, King of New York. I appreciate you acknowledging that and seeing that. And our team is freaking awesome. This is why I recommend that you guys join our Discord, because we really, there's not many people who are going against the grain, in the sense that, a lot of people reference to the 2K community as toxic. There's not a lot of people who are attempting to go against that grain because it's an uphill battle. But we've been fighting that battle since we got on. And you know how I am. Ain't nobody messing with me. It's just is what it is. You either it's like me or leave me alone. And thankfully, the 2K community has welcomed me and the All City gang with open arms. So, I never had to worry about folks trying to come at my head. Not that that will ever happen anyway. I just appreciate that people just said, I don't like them, I'll leave them alone. So that's super dope. And yeah, we just keep pushing, man. We keep pushing, and we're going to try to do, listen, 2K24, yeah? 2K20. I don't know if you guys know, in case you guys don't know, you're new here. We've been doing this for years. That's one, and I'm not going to get into no dramatics. There's not a speech moment at all. I just wanted to remind folks that we used to hold drafts in the park because we were reminiscing about this. We used to hold drafts in the park where we have 40 people lined up, and we'll just have two captains pick from those 40 players that are lined up against the wall. We'll have them just lined up with two captains, and then everybody else, they'll come back to the park when we're done with that game. It's like a tens type of thing. So we want to bring the fun back. We want to bring that fun. So we're really hoping that park is something this year, so that you guys could come on out and play. In the rec, we're kind of confined. Like what you see in the background, you guys can't come out and watch. You can't see yourself on the screen when I'm live streaming. We want to bring all of that back. So 2K24 is about fun. And if 2K can't deliver the fun, I promise you this, we're going to do our best to deliver that fun for y'all. We're going to work hard, we're going to put our minds together, and we're going to work hard to find ways to deliver fun for y'all. Come join the crew, man. We'd love to have you, as long as you're on positive type of vibes. So where we're at.
Find our own fun. We're going to make our own fun.
Facts, man.
That's fact.
It's passed through time. You know how long I've been complaining about 2K? Because I was so frustrated and disappointed. 2K21, 2K22, even 2K23. Just complaining. And it's like that stuff gets old, man. We're here. It's 3 years I've been complaining, and I'm still here. So let it go. We're not finna be, I'm not on that type of time. I'm not a negative person IRL. So if it was real life, just like I did in real life, playing ball, you find ways to have fun. Let's start playing taps with a basketball. I don't know if you guys know what taps are, but taps is like, and you guys might, from your neighborhood, it might be something different. But instead of actually shooting the ball in the hoop, we just all kind of stand in a circle, and, we kind of pass the ball to each other, but you got to be in the air when you catch it and pass it. So we'll create ways to have fun.
Hey, City, that's weird because we call ours tips.
Tips. There you go. Yeah, there you go. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, you find ways to create fun, and that's what we want to do, man. We got it. It's time. It's past due time. The community be in a slump with the toxicity, and you just need to find your place. And I'm glad a lot of you guys that are watching found a place here. And I look forward to what's to come for 2K24.
Hey, City, part of the... Oh, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
That's the exciting thing about the crossplay, because I remember some Xbox people feeling like they were having more of a hard time than the PlayStation people. So it'll be nice to just be able to include everybody.
Yeah. It's time to expand with the Xbox Click. Hey, Cheat, too famous.
Yo.
too famous in the chat said we call it tip.
Yeah.
See, yeah. All right, cool. Yeah. So while they was playing with tips, I was playing with taps, and
oh my God. Don't do this. Don't do this.
Yeah, you're wrong for that one.
You walked right into it. Big pause. He walked right into it. And everybody in the chat's like, yeah, we call it tips. Yeah, we play tips. That was your fault. Don't blame me for that. That's your fault for putting that in the chat and running off of what she said. Oh man, gotta love it. AI Matrix said we was weirdos. Yeah, facts. The weird stuff is the fun stuff, man. Not the tip. I mean, I'm talking about games. It was fun stuff, man. Kick the can, man. All that good stuff. Gotta love it. Why don't people understand that basketball is toxic? Basketball is not toxic. Nah. I can't agree with that. If anything, I've had some of the most building moments with other folks through basketball. It's just competitive. It depends who you surround yourself around. I surrounded myself around good people who just want to ball and have fun. So oftentimes, let me let y'all know, I was the first one out and the last one home. 7:30 in the morning, I'm outside. The basketball court is right in front of my building. 7:30 in the morning, I'm outside. Everybody upset at me that I'm hollering to get folks to come outside. And it so happened that because my building was in the middle building of the projects, so I could then sit in my basketball court and just scream, yo, who's coming outside? So I could holler at like 15 people, and I'm surrounded by the building. So like 15, yo, Harold, yo, Gino, and just from one area, and they like half sleep. I was always outside first, 7:30 in the morning, last one home. Always had the most energy. Yeah, you want to race? Yeah, you take the elevator. I'll run up the stairs to the 14th floor. I bet you I get there first. That's the type of weird energy. It's that weird stuff that be fun.
City, to talk about that one guy, there's a difference between toxic smack talk and competitive smack talk.
You're right. Say that again. Yeah, because it's like, I think some folk, and I'm not saying that guy is confusing it, but some folks, because they never been exposed IRL, and I'm not saying that guy is the one who hasn't been exposed, but because they haven't been exposed IRL, they take competitive, just regular smack talk as toxic, and it's hard for them to distinguish which is which because they never been exposed IRL of what happens on the court. Mamba24, appreciate your $1.99 super chat. Thank you so much. Switch to Terrence Mann's jump shot. Shoot 70% from 3 in the reg. Appreciate you sharing that, Mamba24. Thank you. Let's see if we get to some of these. But I'm glad we touched base on that, Toonie. Thank you for sharing that too. My thing is, people would say 23 better than past 2Ks. This game was not. I'm gonna read this again, because I kind of felt the same way. My thing is, people would say 23 better than past 2Ks. This game was not fun, to be honest. I felt like I wasted my money. I love 2K and just want the game to be good. It was just too many things wrong with 23. And the fun factor for me was limited on 23. But let me put this out there. Yesterday I played 2K for quite a while, and I had the most fun that I've had in a long time. So, sometimes it's a matter of the people you run with. There's another reason why I recommend you guys join our Discord. If you want to join our Discord, type !Discord. You want to run with me and some of the homies, or even try out for our All City Lunatics, you guys can do that by joining our Discord. So oftentimes it's who you're running with, man. A lot of the times, 2K is as frustrating as hell. But if you want to have fun, oftentimes it has to do with the folks that you're surrounding yourself with on 2K. That's been my experience, man. Because I could take some of the folks that we have in our Discord and I won't have nearly as much fun. But then you take some other folks and it don't matter how goofy 2K is. You guys are just going to have fun running. So take that into consideration, y'all.
Yeah, if you run with OG, you will have a blast laughing the whole entire game. He comes up with some funny things during the game.
You don't know what you're going to get.
Martin said 23 was better than the last couple years. I completely agree, but it was boring. I can't put my finger on it, but it was dull, boring, and stale. I appreciate you sharing that, Martin, because like I said, I kind of feel the same way. There's something, like you said, you can't necessarily put your finger on it, but there's something that's lacking in the fun factor. And I'm gonna give you one idea as to what I think it is, and that's the clunkiness, the lack of fluidity in your movement, the lack of responsiveness and control. Oftentimes, I trigger a LeBron James step back, sit, wait for not. Now, when you hit your sticks, you got to hit your sticks quick, right? So you're hitting your sticks quick. So you step back, and then, depending on where the defender is, you're gonna hit your sticks. Oftentimes, I hit my sticks after the step back and I'm just sitting waiting to see if the step back even happens. So the lack of responsiveness makes you feel like you lost control of your player. You feel like it's 2K that's playing for you and not you playing 2K. Lock Seals, appreciate the $9.99. You guys, that's LQK Seals. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for the $9.99 super chat. It really means a lot, yeah. Just the idea of you guys taking the time to super chat, it just goes a long way. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for helping build the platform. 100K subscribers this year, y'all. And you guys can help make that happen. Subscribe today. We out here. We're going to be doing this every day. And the lack of IQ is what LQK Seal said. All positivity. This channel definitely dope, my guy. Man, you guys are on. Wait, what's going on today? What's in the air? What's going? Yeah, what's in the air today? Good energy is contagious, man. And there's times I don't smile. There's times I'm too frustrated on 2K. But when you're feeling good, for some reason, things just change around you. And it's that energy, man. It's just contagious. So hopefully you guys can share in your energy or allow me an opportunity to get to know y'all. Come join the Discord and connect with us, man. Super dope, man. Thank you so much for what y'all do here on the platform.
So pro play, do you think with them trying to implement this pro play that if you're caught in a certain position on defense, the defender and the offensive minded person makes a certain move, that you will automatically get put into an ankle breaking animation?
So
animations?
All speculation, because I was reading some of the comments on Pro Play, and they're referencing Madden's what's the thing in Madden? Something sense. I forgot. Somebody's gonna. What is it?
The passing system.
I don't know. They says I don't know. Play Madden, so they says it's something with sense in it. It's something that multiple people in my videos said it's like Madden's. What is it?
Field sense.
There you go. Field sense. Yep. So that's what they're saying that this thing is like, and I don't know what Madden field sense is. I could only. There you go. Field sense. Yep. So I don't know what that is. Does anybody in here know what that is?
I don't.
I do not.
Nah, right? But you see, multiple people are saying it in the chat. Field sense.
Because I'm a Madden player. I didn't use that system, but I think it has something to do with passing. I'm pretty sure. Like the way you lead your receiver to the ball and stuff like that. I believe that's what it is.
Well, that's what multiple people are saying. I mean, and they were quick to pull that trigger and saying that's field sense from Madden. They were like quick, like they knew right away the finesse. Because 2K is promoting it as groundbreaking technology. And if you're a veteran like myself, you know, you read that with a grain of salt. You're just like, yeah, whatever, 2K groundbreaking. We would have heard about that already, but that's just you selling the game. But that's what they're saying. They're saying it's I can't confirm that it's pro play, Darren Young, but a lot of people are saying that it's going to be similar to whatever Madden Field Sense is. And look at JB saying Madden Field Sense is horrible. It's supposed to. Here we go. It's supposed to meet the video.
What Fred was saying, it's going to be hard because if they're taking live basketball, how many people get ankle break right now in the NBA?
Let's go.
Well, that's a slider. Yeah.
I don't think that's going to be as much unless they use back when Iverson was in the league. He was breaking ankles like that.
Well, that's a slider. So, you know, they could have the animation in there, but the frequency of the animation will be based off the slider. So, you know, it just depends on what they're allowing. Because if you're an old 2K player, you know, point guard got an ankle breaker every single time they came down the court. And that was a terrible experience. If you ain't have your defense up to par, your ankles were broken. It was automatic. You couldn't even do nothing about it. So, Dragonian said, Pro Play is different from Field Sense. All right, cool. Pro Play is different from Field Sense. I made a video on Pro Play sharing exactly what we know so far about Pro Play. But, you know, folks want to see increased ankle breakers. I don't necessarily want to see increased ankle breakers. I think 2K23 between the perimeter defender and the person dribbling. You know what? To tell you the truth, all year, I haven't heard anybody complain about a lack of ankle breakers. So I understand how folks want to have more ankle breakers, but I tell you one thing, I haven't heard anybody say this game is whack. There's no ankle breakers. Dragonian.
Nobody has the ability nor the nerve to try to dribble like that to do it. To try to trigger that animation. You run out of adrenaline too much trying to do it.
There you go. But what I'm getting at is it seems to be that we've been able to move past what 2K used to be with ankle breaker animations, which I deem a good thing in my opinion. Look up.
How is that even controlled? Like if you're wobbling because somebody did a specific move. I mean, I think it's like, you know how in 21 Next Gen everybody got contact dunks, so it stopped becoming fun.
Right. Right.
Like ankle breakers, the fact that they're rare, I like the fact that they're rare because when it does happen, I'm like, ooh, look.
Yeah, then it's like, wow. Yeah. Yeah, 2K ruined contact dunks with 2K21. Dragonian, appreciate the 199. You good. Let's get it, man. Hey, if you're sending those super chats because you took a drink, just take another one. I appreciate you, Dragonian. Thank you, man. He said, look up court view technology. This is what it is. All right, I'm going to look it up. And I appreciate you sharing that info, Dragonian. But it should be that way. If someone has no defense, just having high speed should not count as defense. I agree with that. 2K needs to make it because I play with an 80 perimeter defense on my player and a 45 steal. And it ain't like I'm an amazing defender up there, but in regards to containing, yeah, I feel like I can contain and lead a good ball handler where I want him to go. Not the best, not elite dribblers. I can't guard an elite dribbler with my player, but the good majority of players, I could at the very least contain. And I like that about 2K, but do I think it's fair? I don't think my player should be able to stay up top. He should be immediately exposed to say, hey, go to the corner, homie. And guard, you play the corner because your attributes ain't up to par because you put them on offense. Unfortunately, on 2K23, you can contain up top. You can't be the primary onboard defender, but yeah, you can contain up top. John Kill, what up?
I want to say one thing about defense, actually.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
When it comes to you're saying, if you're getting exposed at the top to go to the corner, the one thing that bothers me a lot about 2K, especially being like a 7-foot center, like obviously I don't have
at Accelerate 3D.
Defense. When I'm closing out on somebody in the corner, hands up, and I'm like a foot away from or half a foot, and they shoot it, and it's wide open or open, it just don't make sense to me.
We went through this how many times yesterday? We went through this multiple times yesterday where we're, again, stuff that wasn't necessarily there in the beginning of the year somehow magically appeared. Where we're scratching our heads like, how is that considered open? And I think we didn't experience that in the beginning of the year because folks didn't have all their badges. So we're like, now, after all these patches, after all these, hey, LQK with another $9.99 super chat started up. Appreciate you. Thank you, LQK, man. Let's get it, man. Appreciate that so much. And thank you all for joining the Discord, too. It's super dope. But yeah, you know, we weren't experiencing that in the beginning of the year. And I think what they're tying into these badges somehow affects gameplay to a point where, you, like Weezy just said, you're jumping, 7-foot player jumping to a defender, and 2K introduced that new flyby thing so you don't collide with the, so that every jump is not a foul, even though they still happen. But you jumping, and if 2K forces you out the way, and then they have the nerve to call it open. How about going into the paint, a guard with a 7-foot center in the vicinity, and they still have the nerve to call certain things open? That's just confusing. Again, something wrong with the coding, y'all. The coding needs to be addressed if they really want to deliver what they're trying to deliver. Instead of, how about not selling us a hoop dream? Don't sell us a hoop dream. We don't need to be sold. We've already been sold, 2K. We want the game. You don't need to sell it to us. Just make the game good.
It's like, yeah, like talking about the defense again, like it'll be like a 6'3", 6'4" guard or something. That's almost a whole foot shorter, and it's, you know, wide open.
Yeah, and Weezy, he normally runs, City Weezy normally runs the center position. So he's speaking from, you're hearing somebody who's been running center all year. And the frustrations with running center are, ironically, I ran center the day before yesterday. I tried to bring out my first build, the 6'11" Paint Beast, complete interior demon. And I'm talking about like as in regards to attributes and badge count and badges in general. The lineup of badges, the badge loadout. Just a demon on paper. And he used to be a demon when I had him. But then so I decided to bring him out 2 days ago. And I played 3 games. And can you guys believe that I didn't get not one contest in 3 games? And these people were rim running. And it's like, yo, how is that even possible when you have a 99 block and you have a high interior defense? How is that even a possibility that a 6'11" player in 3 games can't get one contest with, I can understand if they're all perimeter shooters, but no, folks were rim running like I wasn't even there. The reason why it's ironic is because yesterday I bring out my shorter player who's not supposed to be in the paint at 6'8", and he's getting all sorts of contests, boards, and looking aggressive. But then you tell the 2K community, go ahead and make your center 6'8", and people are like, oh, hell nah. And I understand why folks are saying, oh, hell nah. It's just the inconsistencies where one day your 7-footer is trash, next day he's great. One day my 6'8" is amazing, and he was amazing yesterday, but I could almost guarantee when I bring him out today, as I intend to, he's not going to play not even half of as good as he played yesterday.
They're gonna lock you up.
Yeah, he's not gonna play half as good as he played yesterday.
I'm talking 2K gonna lock you up.
2K gonna lock me up. They're gonna make sure I can't jump. Why? You know, like I told you guys before, and I know I shouldn't have done it. I knew ASAP yesterday. I know I shouldn't have done it. Yesterday, hear me out here. Yesterday, I was happy. And I know I'm going to regret this because 2K monitors the channel to see if you're happy. 2, they monitor you through there's multiple ways that 2K monitors your happiness. And yesterday I was happy, so that means that I got to pay for it today. And I'm not looking forward to it, but that's how it seems. And you guys let me know if you felt that as well. Are you able to maintain happiness? And I'm joking with y'all about the monitoring, but are you able to maintain happiness while you play 2K from one day to the next? If you are, sound off. I'd definitely love to hear your thoughts. But what I found to be my experience on 2K is that it can't maintain consistency from one day to the next, where one day is this, you're happy, the next day, not so much. Or at least it definitely doesn't last 3 days. Salute to you. Salute to you as well.
That's it. Jeff Thomas, in my career, he feels like a 99 overall, but in rec, he feels like a noob with no badges. And it's a tough transition because the servers, right? They bring that unresponsiveness, and then one day it's more responsive, and the other is not very, it's just a mixed bag when it comes to the servers, and that's probably part of the reason why you get so frustrated online. Also, I know it's part of the reason why I get frustrated because one game, it depends on my opponent's connection or something. I don't know what it is, but one game, my timing is different from the next, and then I have to adjust, and it throws me off of the next game. It just becomes really frustrating when things that you're used to doing are not working out because of it's not because of you, but because of performance.
You know, it's funny you said that because I could even make the argument that if you intend to play online, then you shouldn't play offline because it's going to throw off your timing. It's going to throw everything off because like, who was it that said it? Thomas? You're amazing offline. And everybody's amazing offline. You know, I know when you score your first 100 points offline, you're like, oh, I'm about to kill everything and everybody online. I'm going out. The differences between offline and online gameplay seem to be way too drastic. How can you score 100 points offline, but you can't score 6 points online? How can I perform these dribble moves that are clicking and it looks so good and they register offline, my combination, but when I get online, I can't even perform these dribble moves. And it's, it's almost hurting you to play offline because the timing is just too drastically different from between the game modes. Yeah, type exclamation point Discord, Mags. He just put it exclamation point Discord, not a pound Discord or hashtag Discord.
City, to piggyback off what you said, I am a my career player. I will play my career. That's what I do to build my guy up. I always critique kind of the storyline, kind of laugh at that a little bit. But I do know that if you are offline and you go to try to get on my career, it will not let you load into my career. It'll say you have to connect online. So to me, that tells me, okay, you have an online server for my career. What's the difference? Like you said, I mean, you pointed on, but as a my career player, what would be the difference or so hard for them to take that server that you have to be on to play my career and bring that over to the rec? All you're doing is playing a difference from 5 AIs to now you're playing 5 real players. And I understand the coding and, they're going to be different because the AI is going to play different than a regular person and all that. But I'm with you. It shouldn't change because I am a my career GOAT. But you get me in the rec, I'm a role player. That's plain and simple.
I feel like there's like excuses being made as if we're supposed to accept the limitations that we see. And it's wild to me because we know the limitations, like we just finished having this whole discussion. 2K has tremendous limitations or puts tremendous limitations on you when you go online in comparison to your offline responsiveness. So then when you think about comparing it to a whole different game, like for instance, Call of Duty, and the responsiveness that you need in Call of Duty is absolutely top notch and can't falter. And if it did falter, the whole game collapse. Like the whole Call of Duty, if it operated like 2K, wouldn't even be a thing. Probably wouldn't even be a AAA title if it operated with the responsiveness that 2K has. What do y'all think about that?
Great point. I gotta say, like, and that also how it affects our enjoyment of the game also is that a lot of people like you really have to just go to certain moves all the time because those are the only things that work that are actually like you feel like you have some kind of a control because it's fast enough, right? Because they have all of these animations and everybody uses the same 3 or 4 from that category, and it's because of that lack of control. Like it makes a lot of the more deliberate moves a lot less useful because there is no in between. Like it's fast or not fast.
Yeah,
It's
fast or super
because
slow. Yeah.
you're lacking that precision. And it's tough. Because you feel it in my career. In my career, I can use other SIGs, and it feels you can see the point of it. Offline, you can see the point and see how it works. But then when online, it's just that 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 change in responsiveness. Just like you don't have that half a millisecond. It's just like you got to run left or right, straight forward.
What irks me
takes a
is
lot
that
of nuance to that.
sometimes it will trigger that first move super quick, but the second move won't trigger as quick. Or maybe you'll get a combination that's super quick one play, and then you come back and hit the same combo on your sticks, and it doesn't even respond your first combination. It doesn't even respond your first cue, like the right hand to left hand crossover. When you already say a 3 dribble move combo, and it starts with a right hand to left hand crossover, it won't even activate that right hand to left hand crossover. And then you're thinking, I'm gonna hit left right on my stick, and it only registers the right input, like when you hit it to the stick to the right, and now you're doing a hezi, which is such a dramatic difference than a crossover hezi, or a crossover or a double crossover for that matter, left right. That's it's frustrating because it's like they have good intention, but it's not being executed properly online when you go into online gameplay. Dimer said, do you think we should have more of a role player builder or superstar? I think role player would be better because then you would need to work with teammates. Good question, Diamond. Appreciate you sharing that.
Let's go, Coachy.
I mean, I like the free builder. The problem with it is this, right? When in the beginning of 23, when people first touch the builder, they're like, "Wow, this is restrictive. We're not going to be able to have demigod builds because there's not enough points to go around." And then what happens? We discover, oh, you don't need this much speed, right? You don't need this. You only need a 75 speed with ball, and then you just take that and put it somewhere else, and then now you have a demigod that does everything. Right, but like you could tell that there's a good structure and maybe they do some changes in terms of making certain animations require more than one stat or something. They started doing that this year. Maybe they'll get more into that, but they need to make the rate, like you can't punt rate like certain categories. They need to make it so that every attribute matters, so that you have to make because if you punt any category, then you have a demigod. Like if you could live with, like that's what happened in 21, right? We learned that you didn't need, well, I forget what was it. Was it speed with balls? There was something that you could have a 25 of, and it didn't matter. Interior defense, I don't know. It was, and then so everybody was just maxed out shooting, maxed out driving. You didn't have to put the restrictions that they do put into it.
Yeah,
we didn't have to adhere to, right? Because you're not, and the pie chart, they force you to it because they make it so you don't have that choice. And I guess that's why people want the pie charts because of habit. But in theory, the free builder does have that in there. It's just some ratings don't matter, and I don't understand how an attribute doesn't matter. Like
it's the same as some badges don't matter. It's the same as you got a whole badge in the game and it don't matter because it's tied to an attribute that don't matter. Insane. Cedric TV said, remember when only hear this, yeah? And a lot of you guys don't remember this because you're new to 2K, which is good, so you get filled in, and it'll give you some insight as to why we say some of the things we say, why we feel some of the things we feel in the game. There was a point in time, like Cedric TV said, remember when only slashers did good contact dunks? It was only slashers that were finishing crazy. Or pure sharps hit contested threes. Or for that matter, pure sharps were a thing, and you kind of wanted a pure sharp on your team and just leave him at the hash, but he can't do damn near anything else but shoot that rock from the hash as far back as possible. We used to have that in the game. I don't know if I want to go back to that. I can't guarantee you guys that I want to go back to that. Would I complain if we did go back to that? Nah, I don't think so. I could definitely get with the role-playing type of team. Like, get a slasher, get a sharp. If we want to shoot far threes, we need to have a sharp over there. Get a center. Get that, no mix, no demo. I wouldn't mind going back to that at all. So that was a great point, Cedric. I appreciate you sharing that. Rafa said attributes don't mean the same online. What up, Rafa? Online and offline. Yeah, that's facts. Let me see if we get to some more comments here. Wish they would fix the timing when playing like normal VPN servers. I hate restrictions. It's a headache. That was just Thomas.
It would be good if they did like a combination, where a slasher can get the crazy at dunks, but then you can still have other people that have the decent dunks, where it means something to have a 99 dunk versus a 92 dunk.
That's a great point, because right now, you see some slight differences, and it's based off player skill. So in other words, if you have an elite finisher, 2 elite finishers, you put them with a build that has a 92 dunk and you put them with a build that has a 99 dunk, they're going to play almost identically the same. And we're talking about 2 elite finishers. So the first person that comes to mind is like Laker fan. Been a slasher damn near his whole 2K career. And he's one of the most amazing slashers to be able to have that control to finish where he wants to finish. If you give him a 92 attribute driving dunk and a 99 driving dunk, he's going to play damn near the same on both builds. And that's what's unfortunate. That ties into the steal attribute as well, from my opinion, because you give a 99 steal to a player as of right now, maybe not in the beginning of the year, but as of right now, you have a 99 steal player out there, and you have, let's say, an 88 or an 86 steal player out there. They're gonna play very similar. I know a lot of you lockdowns out there, like, I beg to differ. Well, let's compare. Let me pose this question. If you beg to differ, let me pose this question to you. If I put you as a as a demon lockdown, if I give you an 86 steal attribute and a 99 steal attribute, what would you be able to do? Like, how dramatic a difference would there be in your gameplay? What will the end result be? And for me, I give you the benefit of the doubt and say, well, 99 steal will probably get maybe 1 or 2 steals more per game, which is great. I think that's a good thing, but I don't think that's enough to justify the attribute and how taxing it is on the builds. That's the problem. And then certain areas of your builds are way more taxing than others, which is understandable. But then that begs to the idea that Hex said, is that some attributes just don't matter. And we gotta find out, why are they in the game if the attributes don't matter? What is it, 5 categories under finishing and 3 categories under shooting? Why do we have the attribute in the game? So interesting stuff. I'm going crazy with an 86 steal, Honcho said. And we know one of our best lockdowns has something like an 86 steal, and he goes crazy.
And we saw, like, when 99 steal actually mattered earlier in the year, people were actually not putting playmaking on the build just so they could have a lock with 99 defense. So they were making that tough decision, right? But it was worth it to them. And you got to make it.
I did that.
Make that tough decision so you don't have demigods.
Yep. I did that.
Like, So, because if you're able to do you know, if the best ability is capped at 86 steel, then everybody's going to be great.
There you go.
That's the thing. Like if everything 80 makes you great, that's a problem.
That's
you
a
know,
problem.
It should make you serviceable at that. You know, you can do a little bit of everything, but if it makes you great, that's a problem because then you don't have attribute points.
I hope you guys got what Hex said. He said it's okay to do everything good, but it's not okay to do everything great. That's basically what he's saying. So if you got the 80 should be okay for you enough to be okay. But when that 99 steps on the court, it should be noticeable. I want to get to Young K's comment. I appreciate you copying and pasting and putting it back in so I could read it, Young K. He says, you think 2K should bring back the outside, inside, and balanced player builder concepts. And this is from way back, right? I don't think 2K should do anything because I love the player builder. I don't think 2K needs to do anything with the player builder. They just need to balance or pay closer attention to what attributes mean, what badges mean to a player. They don't need to touch the actual building portion of it, in my opinion, because I like it. I really like it. But they need to say, just like we've been talking about with Heck, is why do I have this attribute? And is this attribute, when I increase it, noticeable when I use it to perform an action on the court? So if I don't have a 92-3, I am not shooting from crazy limitless range. If I have a 92-3, I can shoot from the hash. So why does an 86 driving dunk finish very similar to a 92? Dependent on the player. They can do very similar things. That's why you see a lot of these 6'1" guards going crazy on their finishing. Because they got the speed and they got the contact 86 or whatever they at. And they're taking off with LeBron James and Russell Westbrooks and all this good stuff.
I gotta say, the smaller guards seem to be tougher to knock out of their animation, right? When you,
that's interesting.
You would think that's a bigger player, right? Like because you have a big body.
Say it again.
Knock you out your animation.
Say
but you would think
again.
that because you bigger, that it would be harder to knock you out the animation.
Say that is interesting. Interesting. You guys know what he's talking about. When you have your center, your 7-foot center in the paint directly under the rim, why isn't he yamming or at least attempting to yam? Then you have this 6'1" player launching his soaking wet 90-pound self, where real life, if he hit a 7-footer, he would immediately end up on the ground. If that type of collision happened, they kind of finesse into acrobat or whatever the case is, but they're able to still kind of go through the motion of finishing the animation. But I was just talking about this maybe yesterday or the day before. The big man gets bumped out of his animation like as if he weighs the same as a small guard. And this is what we was talking about, the physics and all that good stuff, because immediately you know if you see something like that man should have been bumped out of position. And I think it's a lack of animations that they have. They don't have enough animations to cover the bump, but for some reason they applied it to the big man. You get to see those bump animations come to the big man, but you don't get to see it happen to the smaller dude. And I agree with you completely.
I was gonna say City. It's on City. If they just fix interior defense and just defense in the whole, and fix the rewards for my player and my career, or whatever, this would be a perfect game to me. Like that's just my only two complaints: the defense and the rewards. That's literally it.
Yeah, and I there's still I got way more complaints. She is being modest, with the clunkiness and stuff. But maybe don't get me wrong, because I watched Cheat progress with his new build, so I got to see. You get to see that you can experience some fluidity in your dribble moves. You can experience some of the older aspects that we used to experience in previous versions of the game. And normally I would, in my prime days when I was playing very often, I wouldn't go past 6'5". So normally I like players that are smaller and faster and move more fluid. But when I attempted to make that happen, because I'm not skilled enough, I attempted to make that happen on 2K23. And it was a different when I made the 6-1, it was a different stage in the game because that's when we was trying to learn the pick and rolls and all of that. And I'm not really a pick and roll player. It was watching All City Cheat run the 1-5 out with his player that I said, oh, if I would have played like that, I would have probably still had my 6-1 instead of deleting them. So I understand that there is some fluidity there where you may not have to complain, but the good majority of the folks, because normally you only have like 1-6-1 out there on the court, and that's usually going to be the PG. So the good majority of the folks are moving not nearly as smoothly, and it seems to be a turnoff. So that's definitely one complaint that I have that they could fix. I don't want to feel clunky. I want to feel the fluidity of NBA 2K20. I want to feel the fluidity of NBA 2K16, 17. And maybe everything else, like Chi said, could stay the same. Give us the better defense, interior contest. I shouldn't have dunked on that dude like that. You know, like Chi said, give us better defense.
Yeah, because I was gonna say because in my 6-1, you see, I can get any dunk I want, like down every possession. And from the player I have in my play style of run running or whatever, like I still think it's like too OP. Like they need to take the aspect away. Like don't fully take it away, like because sometimes it does happen. Like you see Ja Morant, like at the end of the day, like just even it out, balance it out. Like prioritize the interior defense, in my opinion. Like don't prioritize the smaller dude.
You can't. Yeah, facts. You can't prioritize the smaller dude for the 3-ball. That's where he shines at. Can he finish? Sure, he can finish, but he is not finishing over a center, and that's where things go wrong. He can't finish over a center unless he's a pure slasher, where he made the sacrifice that he's not shooting a 3-ball, and that helps the defense kind of make a decision on how to guard him. That's my opinion. Heroes Gaming said, do you think they need to either get rid of or change the meaning of shot close? Because I think it messed up interior defense. I get what you mean. Maybe with fast twitch, you're talking about close shot, right? I get what you mean. I ideally would want them to get rid of it completely and maybe tie it into your. I think there should be 3 categories for your finishing, just like in shooting. However they set that up, I don't know how they would say. If you guys have ideas on how to set that up, let me know. But I think there should be 3 categories, the same way it is for shooting, the same way it is for playmaking. 3 categories across the board will help simplify a lot of these things, and folks won't be wondering, what does my close shot do? Get rid of ghost contest for sure, King of New York, but what does my close shot do? You know, I've never been a advocate for the close shot, only because I've never been able to use it effectively. And I'm not saying this as like a recommendation for you guys to not use it. I'm saying it exactly how I'm saying it. Like, I personally have never been an advocate for it because I haven't been good at using it with your fast twitch and stuff. But I've seen people use it amazing, and they do really well with it. They need to figure out a way where if I put an attribute on my build, I apply, say, a 99 close shot, I shouldn't be guessing what my 99 close shot is doing for me. That's my opinion on it.
Hey, City, I think close shot, even though they're high, it's more, you see it coming out a lot with centers, especially with the combination of the post control and the close shot together. That's how the centers are able to green a lot of the hooks. That's where I think that is tied in, and it's sometimes confusing because they could be in the mid range, but what's taking control is their hook shot.
And we already know hook shots are, it's just a broken mechanic in 2K. Yeah, these things, there's certain things that we know, we've become accustomed to, that are just broken mechanics. And every year the 2K community finds it out, and they say, well, I'm glad this year it didn't take hold because it looks lame. So it didn't take hold because it looks so lame. But that's the only reason. I think the game is, I got to keep it a buck, yeah. I do think the game, like Chi said, is one of the better versions in the sense of where we can go from here, in my opinion. But like the homie said in the stream, there's something that's missing in regards to the fun factor. On paper, maybe it looks amazing, it plays amazing, when we bring it back to fun, you're like, I'll give it a 5 out of 10. You know what I mean? Maybe that's being modest. Renzi, what's going on? The biggest problem with being a big is players are able to get contacts on me without the meter. Mind you, Hall of Fame badges. Yeah, they were trying to go crazy. I mean, I experienced the same thing. Mm-hmm. Do you think they should add more attribute categories in the builder? Like No, I just finished saying I think they need to consolidate. I feel like they need to consolidate the attributes. That's my opinion. You know, however they make it work.
Sorry, City.
Nah,
I think
you
they
good,
try
bro.
to do that with the pie charts to consolidate the attributes and stuff. Because I know in 20, if you did which I did with my build, all red and all orange or yellow or whatever you want to say it is, the playmaking one, defensive playmaking, it gave you contact dunks along with a 65 3-ball that if you were open, you could hit with it. But it gave you playmaking and things like that, to where now, I mean, with the builder, I like the new builder. You can basically make any build you want to without sacrificing. But I think that's what they did with the attributes in the pie chart, was bring them down. Another question I got for you, and I don't know if you've already hit on this or not, was whenever they were talking about the new developments that you showed earlier, doing the builder, and then they were talking about badges, revamping the badges. Do you think they'll go back to the old way where each field has certain badges? You have to go to the gym and grind those badges, or
they were touching base on that. Yeah, they were touching base on that, man. I'm tired of grinding for badges, man. You know, I don't want to grind for badges, man. Let me get my build. I already paid a freaking $100, man. If I say I'm willing to pay $100 for VC to upgrade my build, let me go ahead and get on out there. I know a lot of you guys may not agree with this. Like, you may not agree, hey, just pay for your badges. But I just want to get out there and compete, man. Let me make the build that I said, whether you guys got to remove badges or make just attributes matter. If I'm willing to pay for my build, it's because I don't have time for grinding. I don't want to grind. I don't find it fun. I find it a tedious task. And the point of gaming is that it's supposed to be fun. Why add this additional layer of grinding? If you want to grind to get better, I understand, and consider it like practice, or you grind or you play offline for practice. I get it. But don't force me into position to have to get something offline just so I can play better online. Yeah, let me pay for what I want, and I made my build like this. Let me bring that build out. And I know a lot of you guys may not agree with it. I don't expect you to, but it's cool that we could create some dialogue. I definitely don't mind folks disagreeing with me, man.
The thing with me and badges is, my opinion, is take them completely out of the game. You want a high dunk, put your attribute up. You want to pass great, put your attribute up. You know, same with defense, and make it strictly. And I can't guarantee it, but I do feel like it would help out with some of the clunky animations, because they're trying to insert interior badges in with, you know, they're trying to take your anchor badge and connect it with the animation of a contact dunk, and now they're going to battle over each other of who's going to get what, and you see what happens in the result. You know, 8 foot getting dunked on by a 6'1" guy. You know, that's just my opinion. Take them completely out, like they did old school. That's your deal. Go in and see what you can do.
I don't even think they could do that. I think what Czar was saying is that there's animations and certain functions that are tied to those badges.
Tied into it.
So if they took away all the badges from the game and you were just using ratings, you'll feel useless. Like you have no arms and legs, because like the movement will be completely different, and there's certain things that you wouldn't be able to do. Unfortunately.
Yeah, it sucks, but yeah.
Right.
He's Zay Pool said, how do you feel about your takeover activating based on how you play in the game? Badge Plug mentioned this in his video. I think the way I would love to see takeovers happen more often. But I think the way they've incorporated takeovers this year, I think it was fairly decent. It rarely activate. I mean, this is after months There's after months where now I don't even think about Takeover. If I get Takeover, so be it. But then again, I'm playing in the rec center the good majority of the year. Elite comp players that are playing in the pro-am may be thinking differently because they know that they play differently when they have that Takeover activated. So I could see how folks want like a whole different system. I could understand that completely, but as of right now, I don't even like I lost touch with Takeover. It's never, ever, ever a thought in my mind that I'm like, oh, I gotta get my Takeovers. I'm right there. I never look at the bar, and even when I have the bar, I don't activate it. I just take the additional attributes that I get from it and let it last as long as it could.
Yeah, some of
That's
the
what I was gonna say.
takeovers. My bad, Heck. Go ahead, Heck.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Some of the takeovers, I think they're too many. Like for finishing, the finishing move one doesn't really work as good as the blow by one. So it's one of those. If they're gonna keep all of them in there, make them mean something. Because I put on my finisher, I have finishing, and I get less contact dunks than when I put blow by on.
I'll say this. I don't have any problem with Takeover except Team Takeover. I still to this point don't even know what we got to do to activate Team Takeover.
Yeah, as a whole. Well, as a whole, for all right, to activate Team Takeover, every member on the team, and it's good that you asked that, because to activate your Team Takeover, there's a bottom bar. So there's 3 bars that you're gonna see at the top right, and on the bottom is your bar for Team Takeover. You got to fill yours up. Cheat has to fill his up. Every person on the team has to fill up that bottom bar. And when that so in other words, it forces you to play as a team to get Team Takeover. Let's say if we really wanted to start activating our Team Takeover, then the way, if it was our goal to activate it, the way we would play the game is, yo, who's lacking on Team Takeover? Who doesn't have the bar filled yet? All right, City doesn't have the bar filled up yet. All right, yo, City, we're gonna set you up now. We got to get that bar filled so we can get Team Takeover. So the next few plays are coming to me, so we can, so I can fill my bar up, and immediately, as soon as my bar fills, if I'm the last one, it immediately goes into Team Takeover. So oftentimes, it depends on how you're playing the game. So for instance, you cheat is say you're only feeding 3 people on the court. You're running point guard. Cheat runs point guard, by the way. So let's say cheat. He's running point guard and he's actually only passing the ball to 2 people on the court. There's gonna be 2, and you know they're not doing much on defense. The remaining 2 are not doing much on defense. They're not able to fill up that bar. You know, they're not able to get that. We as a team are not able to get Team Takeover. So if we wanted to activate Team Takeover consistently, then Cheat would have to make sure that everybody on the court is eating and that everybody in the court is playing defense well enough to make sure that we could keep contributing to that team, to that bar that we have up top.
See, I'm up to par with like everything you just said, but the confusing part is when we're blowing a team out and we got some dude on code or whatever, like got like all these turnovers, and they take their team take before us. Like
it does suck. No, it does suck. It's confusing.
What about when the center gets a block and their whole entire team gets a Team Takeover on offense?
Yeah, that's what I mean by that's
crazy.
Yeah, it's definitely confusing.
I'm completely up to par with literally everything you just said, but that's the most confusing part. When the other team that you're destroying, they're not playing good at all.
Yeah,
they take over in the fourth quarter.
Nah, it's facts. We talking about 50-point blowouts. And we in the fourth quarter, we haven't got a Team Takeover yet. Yeah. And these dudes that are getting blown out by 50 points done got Team Takeover in the fourth quarter, and the homie's cold in the corner, bro. Their dudes, one of their teammates are cold in the corner, so your bar ain't filled, B. Yeah, your bar can't be filled. So I get it completely, man. It's confusing, but that's the 2K way. Confuse you. Leave you dazed and confused, so that way you can just dig in your pocket and put another $100 down.
I sacrifice myself to get blocked so we can get Team Takeover quicker.
One thing when it comes to like Takeover, sometimes people that have like, say they have double sharp take and they haven't taken a single shot all game. I feel like that should play a role. Like if you have shooting take, you got to shoot at least something and make a couple shots for it to actually activate.
Yeah.
Limitless takeoff or limitless 3 takeoff or doing nothing involving shooting.
Big facts. It was stop bots from dunking all game and getting sharp takeover. I got you about not worrying about the takeover in games, but it's a great amount of people who depend on it. And yeah, I know they are. Yep, facts, Zay. I know it's a great amount of people who depend on team takeover. That's why I was saying in the comp scene, or people who are like really trying to take advantage of their take. I get it completely. I know how folks think about team takeover. I was really speaking in reference to me as a casual rec player this year on 2K23. I never was enticed to seek out activating my takeover. And that's because it's a mechanic. It's a poor mechanic. I'm sorry, I get it.
In my opinion, the longer games, like Takeover doesn't, I don't see a problem with it. Like in the rec game, right? And then I believe I'm do the same thing as you. I let it just sit at a high level because I rather take the intermediate boost than crank it and get to the big boost and lose my bar afterwards. It's more helpful to have that little bit especially if you're playing off the ball. But I think in park, in like twos especially, like getting a takeover fast with a block leads you to winning the game. Like basically, like you get dominated. So I think they need to figure out the whole takeover system and how it affects both sides of the game. Because I can see how people in park that are just playing till 21 and it's have a hard time with the takeover system. And
yeah, I could only imagine. I really haven't played Park much this year, but it's got to be a nightmare. Is it is it going off something different? Do you get more on your bar in Park? Because it only goes to 21?
I saw somebody get takeover after one block in a park game.
Wow.
Like on a clip online. And I was like, if you, in twos, right, if somebody gets takeover after one block,
GG.
Yeah, like, and I mean, if they're skilled enough, they'll score every play and you're done. So I could see how people could have a problem with how that is implemented. And we saw that problem a lot in it was 21 where they had Showtime. And
Woo, man, instantly, and they set it up. Yep. Instantly got takeover. Yeah. No, it's facts. Well, yeah, on that note, we are pushing 2 hours, probably one of the longer streams that we're doing. Do not despair, because we're going to be doing this every day. And even if news so happens to drop sometime between right now and tomorrow, there's a possibility I will go live again, just to make sure that you guys are up to date with any news or information. You guys could really help us hit 100K before we wrap this up. Please consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't. I'm sorry I couldn't get to everybody's comment, but man, we want to keep this thing going. So come back tomorrow. If I wasn't able to get to your comment, we're going to be making sure that we do our best to connect with you guys. So maybe it'll just be a stream that we just read comments and answer them. But stay connected, because we out here. $2 from Sound. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for having the discussion. Great questions. I appreciate you too. Thank you for the $2 super chat. I'm wishing you all safe and blessed rest of your night. All City team, please take us away. If you guys are interested in some of our team members and connecting with some of our team members, they're gonna explain to you guys how to stay connected with them. Heck, take us away. Start it up.
All City Big Heck, much love and respect. You can find me, my main platform is Twitter, at B1S. I got y'all when it comes to news and, just anything 2K related culture wise that I find useful and helpful, I will share. So just, follow me on Twitter, B1S.
Next one up.
Hey, this is All City OG. Just remember to hit that like and subscribe button. Like City said, we're trying to hit 100,000 this year. Pub subscribers, come into the Discord, man. You'll find us around each channel. Don't be scared to hit us up. We're not busy. We'll run some games with you.
Yeah,
this is OG. I'm out.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, the people that you're seeing here, this is what you're seeing on the right side is actually our Discord. So, the same names that you see here is what the names you'll see when you go into Discord. Let's wrap this up. Who's next?
What's up? This is All City Toonie. Make sure you guys hit that like. Come over to Discord. See one of us, hit us up. We'll run with you. I'm always looking to run with people and having fun.
Let's go, Coachy.
What's up, guys? It's All City Wheezy. You can find me over on Twitch at the Wheezy TV. Wheezy has 2 Y's in it. I stream 2K about probably every day with the Lunatics or anybody from the Discord. If you want some 2K content, you can come through there.
Awesome.
So, appreciate y'all coming out to the stream.
Big facts.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All City Cheat here. Go ahead, go follow me on Twitch at the cheat code 4. I'm gonna drop it in the comments. I'm pretty much approachable. Come join the Discord, run some games with me. I'll get you right, and we out, man. That's it.
Yes, sir. On that note, again, wishing you all safe and blessed rest of your night, man. Come out, join us in Discord. We love to connect with y'all, man. And I will catch y'all either on the next video or